Have you ever lain in your own bed, in your own home, staring at the ceiling, wondering if the person you love most is deciding whether to kill you tonight? I have. Every single morning, I looked into my husband's eyes, trying to see if today was the day he would finally finish the job. My name is Victoria. Once upon a time, I had everything. I was wealthy, I was successful, I was loved, or so I thought. But one single car accident sliced my life into two parts, the happy past and the hellish present. My husband, James, brought a woman into our home. He called her a nurse. He called her an angel. They took care of me, the way a gravedigger takes care of a corpse. They thought I was weak. They thought I was paralyzed. They thought I was stupid. But they forgot one thing. My legs might have been broken, but my ears worked perfectly fine, and they didn't know about the hidden cameras I had installed in the walls. Today, I am going to tell you how I trapped my own murderers. This isn't a story about betrayal. This is a story about resurrection. It all started on a rainy Tuesday. I was driving home from my architecture firm. James had been so sweet that morning. He told me he had taken my car to the shop to fix the brakes. "Just to be safe, honey," he said, kissing my forehead. What a fool I was. As I drove down the mountain road, I pressed the brake pedal. Nothing. It went straight to the floor. The car didn't slow down. It sped up. I hit the guardrail. Glass shattered. Metal screamed. And then, darkness. When I woke up, the doctor told me the verdict. Spinal injury. Temporary paralysis from the waist down. I was trapped in a wheelchair. James brought me home. "Don't worry, Vicky," he said. "I hired a private nurse. Her name is Bella." Bella walked in. She was young, blonde, and drop-dead gorgeous. She didn't look like a nurse. She looked like a model. "I'm here to help you get back on your feet," she said with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. I didn't know it then, but she wasn't there to help me stand. She was there to make sure I never stood up again. The first 2 weeks were normal, but then the nightmare began. My health started to deteriorate rapidly. Instead of getting stronger, I was withering away. My hair started falling out in clumps. My skin turned gray. I was constantly nauseous. Every day, Bella would bring me a cup of thick, dark herbal tea. "Drink up, Victoria," she would say sweetly. "It's a special blend to calm your nerves." The tea tasted metallic, bitter, wrong, but James insisted I drink it. "It's expensive medicine, darling. Do it for me." So I drank it, and 10 minutes later, I would pass out for hours. One night, I woke up at 3 a.m. I was thirsty. My throat felt like sandpaper. I dragged myself into my wheelchair and quietly rolled into the hallway. The house was silent, but as I got closer to the kitchen, I saw a dim light, and I heard voices. It was James and Bella. I froze in the shadows. "Do we need to increase the dose?" Bella whispered. "She's still breathing. This is taking too long." My heart hammered against my ribs. James replied, his voice cold and unfamiliar. "Patience, baby. Arsenic builds up slowly. If she dies too fast, the autopsy will look suspicious. Give it another week. Her kidneys will fail, and everyone will think it was a heart attack caused by the accident." Then, I heard the sound of a kiss. A long, passionate kiss. "And then," James said, "we sell the house, take the life insurance money, and go to the Maldives." I sat there, gripping the wheels of my chair until my knuckles turned white. My husband and this nurse, they weren't healing me. They were murdering me. The car accident wasn't an accident. He tried to kill me then. He failed. So now, he was using Plan B. I wanted to scream. I wanted to roll in there and fight them. But I was weak. I was alone. if I confronted them now, they would just push me down the stairs and claim I fell. I quietly rolled back to my room, locked the door, and cried until sunrise. But by morning, my tears had dried up, and they were replaced by pure, cold rage. The next morning, I had a plan for survival. Bella walked in with the tea. "Good morning. Time for your medicine." I smiled at her. It was the hardest acting performance of my life. "Thank you, Bella. Leave it on the table. I'll let it cool down." As soon as she left, I grabbed the cup. On my windowsill, I had a beautiful, large ficus plant. I poured the tea directly into the soil. I did this for 3 days. I hid my pills under my tongue and flushed them down the toilet later. The result was terrifying. Within 3 days, my lush, green plant turned black. The leaves withered and fell off. The plant was dead. That wasn't tea. It was liquid death. But without the poison in my system, my mind cleared up. My strength started to return. I needed proof. James controlled my phone and laptop, but I had an old tablet hidden in the back of my closet. When James was at work and Bella was taking a shower, using my master bathroom like she owned the place, I ordered tiny hidden cameras online. I had them delivered to my neighbor, Mrs. Higgins. I told Mrs. Higgins I was planning a surprise anniversary gift for James so she wouldn't be suspicious. I retrieved the package. I hid one camera in the kitchen clock, one in the living room bookshelf, and one in my own bedroom. The cameras recorded everything. They recorded Bella pouring white powder into my tea. They recorded James shouting, "Why isn't she dead yet?" They recorded them laughing about how they would spend my money. But the most important part of my plan was the physical training. At night, with the door locked, I crawled out of my chair. I dragged myself across the floor. I massaged my legs. I forced my muscles to work through the pain. It was agonizing. But hatred is a powerful fuel. 2 weeks later, I could stand against the wall. 3 weeks later, I could take a few steps. But in front of them, I played the part of the dying wife. I acted weaker every day. I wanted them to feel safe. I wanted them to feel victorious. Because the higher they climbed, the harder they would fall. Sunday arrived, the day of reckoning. I spent the morning groaning, telling James I felt my heart giving out. I think the end is near, James," I whispered. He tried to look sad, but I saw the excitement in his eyes. "Let's have dinner together," I said weakly. "Please, one last family dinner. Ask Bella to join us. She has been so good to me." James agreed. Bella set the table. She opened an expensive bottle of wine for them and prepared a bowl of soup and the special tea for me. We sat at the dining table, me in my wheelchair at the head. James and Bella exchanged secret glances. They were mentally counting the money already. "Eat your soup, Victoria," Bella said softly. "It will give you strength." I stirred the soup, but I didn't eat. "You know, James," I said, my voice barely a whisper, "I had a dream today. I dreamt that my ficus plant spoke to me." James chuckled nervously. "You're hallucinating from the meds, darling." "No," I said, my voice getting stronger. "The plant told me that it died in my place. It said the poison burned its roots." The room went dead silent. Bella dropped her fork. It clattered loudly onto her plate. "What are you talking about?" James asked, his smile fading. I took a deep breath. I placed my hands on the armrests of my wheelchair. And then I pushed. I stood up, slowly, painfully, but completely upright. James jumped out of his chair. Bella covered her mouth in horror. They looked like they had seen a ghost. You can walk?" James stammered, stepping back. "Yes, James," I said, walking slowly around the table towards them. I can walk because I haven't drank your poison for 3 weeks. I fed it to the plant. It died. Just like your conscience. Bella tried to run for the door, but I pressed a button on the remote in my hand. The big screen TV on the wall turned on. The video started playing. It showed James and Bella in the kitchen, mixing the powder, kissing, planning my murder. The audio filled the room. Just 1 more week, and she's dead. James looked at the screen, then at me. His face was pale as a sheet. Victoria, wait. I can explain. It's a misunderstanding. Explain what? I shouted. How you cut my brakes? Or how you poisoned my tea? Yes, I know about the car too. I picked up the cup of special tea from the table and held it out to Bella. If this is just herbal tea, Bella, drink it. Drink it all. She shook her head, tears streaming down her face, backing away. No, please. Drink it, I screamed. At that moment, the sirens wailed outside. Blue and red lights flashed through the windows. I had called the police 30 minutes ago. I had sent them the video files. The front door was kicked open. Armed officers stormed the room. Get on the ground, now! James was tackled to the floor. He looked up at me, his eyes full of hate and fear. Bella was crying in the corner. I walked up to them. I stood tall. You tried to kill my body, I whispered to James. But you couldn't kill my spirit. Enjoy prison, darling. James and Bella were charged with attempted murder, conspiracy, and fraud. My hidden camera footage and the samples of the poison tea were enough to lock them away for life. It turns out James had a massive gambling debt. My life insurance was his only way out. I am alone now, but I am free. I sold that house too many bad memories. I moved to a new city. My legs have fully recovered. I run every morning. Every step I take is a victory. I wanted to share this story with you for one reason. Trust is precious. Before you give it to someone, make sure they are worthy of it. And if a suspicious angel ever enters your home, check under their wings for a dagger. And never, ever ignore your gut instinct. It might just save your life. This is Twisted Trust. Subscribe because the truth is always scarier than fiction.